Hey, you guys, and welcome to my January wrap up, where I tell you guys everything that I watched in January and I judge it for you, sort of. Um, so I know I've been kind of absent these last couple of days because I think it's been like 7 days since I've uploaded, but I've been in Google Hangouts. I haven't been doing anything. Like, seriously, Google Hangout is addictive. Like, I've been in there, like, with all my free time. My friend was like, "You want to go out?" And I'm like, "Nah, I already made plans to hang out with people in Google Hangout." And, like, how sad is that? But on the other hand, it's kind of like you should have told me in advance you want to go somewhere. Bam. But moving on from the sadness of that, I will try not to let that take over my life, slash free time. But one of the things that I watched in January was Carlos Mencia, No Strings Attached. And Carlos Mencia is one of my favorite comedians. He actually used to have a show on Comedy Central, which I really, really loved and enjoyed, and I can't believe they canceled it. I was like, no. But yeah, it isn't my first time watching his comedy of this. It was multiple viewings. I don't even know at this point, but I really enjoyed it as usual. The next thing that I watched was Fire with Fire, which, okay, I was like, okay, but I saw that it had Bruce Willis in it and Josh Duhamel and Rosie Dawson. You guys know who I'm talking about basically at this point. But it was actually way better than I thought. It takes Josh Duhamel's character who like witnesses something, and he has to go into witness protection, and then all this crap happens, and it was way better than I expected it to be. So if you like find it on your rental, it was like really good, and I was like, it's better than some movies in theaters. So it was like, okay, like as a rental was really good. It was a good find, and I really enjoyed it. The next movie that I saw, which I also really enjoyed, I had been putting off because I like the original, was S.W.A.T. Firefight. Now I really like the S.W.A.T. with Colin Farrell and Jeremy Renner and like Samuel L. Jackson. I really like that, and Michelle Rodriguez. As I really like that one. I had I had hopes that they would make a sequel, even though I know it probably didn't do too well. And they did do one years later, but not with the original people, which I was like crushed by. But I do like the main character, the main actor who's in SWAT Firefight, because he plays on Suits and he plays as Harvey. So maybe my good feelings kind of starting there. And it was way better than I expected it to be. I seem to be eating crow a lot. It was actually way better than I expected it to be. I really enjoyed watching it, and I will probably pick up the DVD soon, hopefully. So yeah, I'm with that. It's definitely worth a rewatch for me. Now, a next movie, it's another comedy, and it was Jeff Dunham arguing with myself and Sparks of Insanity. I still haven't watched his new one. I believe it's like either a Christmas or a Halloween special, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'll probably end up buying it because I don't own any of his stuff, so I should probably own it because whenever I get like Netflix or like I did the Amazon Prime thing, I always end up watching it anyway, so I might as well just go ahead and get it because really. Then another thing I watched was Wanda Sykes Sick and Tired, and I believe I watched something else by her, but I can't remember what it was. But I always love her stand-ups, and I always hope that she'll do more stand-ups because they're always funny and just awesome. She's like one of my favorite comedians also, especially at like one of my favorite female comedians also while we're at it. And then another thing I watched was Inception. Do I really have to explain that to you people? Because if you haven't watched Inception at this point, which apparently a lot of my friends have not, so I have to make that a requirement. It was just awesome. I was just like, it's like the first time I watched it all over again. I watched it like twice. And people were just like, you have problems. And I'm like, no, you have problems. You need to see this movie once before you tell me I have problems. And some people say they're confused. I'm like, what is confusing about this? But I really enjoy it and like it, obviously. But I recently bought it on Blu-ray, so that's why I was rewatching it, and it was like Blu-ray DVD. So I was like, I better make sure both these discs work, because in my mind, that's how it works out. So yeah. And then I saw a roasting of like Charlie Sheen and Roseanne, you know, that roast they do on Comedy Central. So I watched those. Those are always slightly enjoyable and funny, and sometimes really painful because sometimes a comedian will say something you're just like, ooh, too soon, too soon, too soon. So another thing that I watched was Dreamcatcher, I believe, and it's based off that Stephen King novel. And it's an old movie, so like the effects were bad even for back then, I think. But I did say I enjoyed it better than I thought I would. Like, I wasn't completely not interested, but it was, I mean, if you're gonna watch it, just know that graphics, you're gonna hate it, especially if you're into that kind of thing. Even me, who's not like really into graphics that much, like stuff like that. Even I was kind of like, wow, that was really crappy. But for back then, it was like high quality. So, yeah, it was weird and stuff. If they were gonna do, I know some people hate when they do remakes a movie, but if they're gonna do one, I think it would probably be a step up in some ways. But I still enjoyed it. It was fun, kind of horror movie-ish thing to watch. And then I watched Fierce People with Kristen Stewart and Anton Yelchovich and some other people, and I was like, okay, so I had to watch it. Just they're in there, and Kristen Stewart. I like her, unlike some other people, and she actually really smiles a lot in this one. And Anton Yelchovich is like, at first I didn't recognize him because I was like, I know this guy, but it's the curly hair that always messes me up. Because in everything else now, he has like a more like, he still has hair, but there's like less of it. And I really enjoyed this. And it was about this boy. He like gets into, I guess, a little bit trouble, and then him and his mom goes to live with this guy, and like in their super rich family, and he comes from like being broke, and it's like a different kind of society and war thing, like society, different kind of society, and like the stuff that they're going to, their angst, and he learns different things. So we'll see how that goes. It turns to be like the most messed up thing ever, because Chris, he plays Captain America. He plays that flame on dude in those Fantastic Four movies. But you guys know who I'm talking about. He's also in that movie. And yeah, so that was enjoyable also. And then another thing I watched was January Jones, which I have been wanting to see. And I actually had to like remember who was in there. Alexandro Novillo. Oh yeah, I'm not gonna say that right. And Abigail Breslin, which is why I decided to see it. And it's just like that tale of like this guy finding out he has a kid, and he's like a rock star, and just like their journey through learning each other. I think we all know how it was gonna end up, but it was really good. I mean, I had high expectations. I probably shouldn't have, cause yeah, I was like, it was okay. It was good. It was like bad, but like definitely a rental. Like, I'm not sure if I'll probably own it. Maybe if I like see it for like $2.99, maybe on DVD. But we'll see. And then I watched Runaway Jury, which has like John Cusack in it, and like I think Stephen, not Stephen Hawking. I forgot. Stephen, I'm totally spacing on that. But it's an older movie, Runaway Jury, and it's like obviously it has to do with the jury selection. Like, these people are called into jury duty, but like the jury is being messed with, and some people on the jury are like hinky and like trying to sway like both sides of the opposition, like to pay them money and stuff so that they can win. So Runaway Jury is actually a really great movie, and I really like the twists and turns. I'm into that kind of thriller sort of thing going on. So yeah, that was basically. Oh no, I know you guys want to know, I actually did watch Teeth on Scarred for Life. Yeah, so Teeth is, I'm just gonna say, Teeth is about this girl, and she has a vagina, and in her vagina she has teeth. That's basically what that show's about. And it sounds, if you saw the trailer, I think you kind of saw the movie in a little way. I'm just Scarred for Life. I still enjoyed. I can't say if enjoy was the right word, because I'm kind of traumatized right now. But I think if you're a guy, you're gonna be even more traumatized seeing that movie. Apparently, as I've heard. Like, I've known about this movie for a while, but like I haven't like bothered to buy it, and like nobody like rents it really. And so like, except I had the Amazon, I was like, ooh, it's actually available for Amazon Prime people for free. So I decided to like watch it, and it ended up being good and more interesting. But it's like good in that way that you're like, what the freak is going on? And you're just attuned to seeing it being like a train wreck. Like, and that was me while I was watching that movie. I will try to do like a non-spoiler review. I'm not sure how that's gonna go, so there's definitely gonna be a spoiler review, because I just like can't not talk about what goes on in that movie. But like the non-spoiler review has just happened. It's like, go watch it for yourself, because it's more like a show and not a tale. I'm scarred. I'm scarred for life. I'm traumatized, people. traumatized. So that's what I watched in January. So did you guys find any good shows or movies in January? Anything new that you guys think I should look up? Because I did finally watch something else that's for next month, and I am going to upload a video about some things that some new video things that I'm doing for this channel that I'm late in telling you, so I better go and do that. But so just tell me if you guys found anything new or interesting, or if you have seen any of these movies and what, or TV shows. I don't think I've watched any TV shows this month. What in these movies and what you thought about them. Tell me everything down in the comments below, and I will see you guys later. Bye.